Okay, so in this video we're talking about style, and in particular kind of applying style to your architecture and interior photography, especially fine art architectural photography, which is what we shoot mostly here on this channel. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is James Kerwin and this is me. I'm an architecture and interior photographer from the UK, and I love shooting abandoned places, relics, ruins, hidden gems and ghost towns, as well as off the beaten path locations all around the world. I'm posting new videos every Sunday, so why don't you join me for the ride by subscribing. You can also check out my website in the description below. So why is it important to have your own style? Well, people over time, as you start to upload and sort of publish work, people will recognize you for that style. And actually, if they're buying 1, 2, 3 images for a wall or a book, they want to see a consistent style throughout. It's really, really important. So finding that style and applying it to your work is probably the best thing that you can do. So style is important for a number of reasons. It's important to try to make sure that you are unique in what you're doing. That doesn't apply to Photoshop work or correcting images. I'm talking about the actual editing style of what it is you do. And I think it's pretty important to have your own style and apply it to your work. Listen, first up, finding a style comes as you want to progress and shoot a consistent theme or look. It's not a requirement of photography, or for that matter, video. Creating images over time has given me examples of what I like and what I don't like, and there's no right or wrong with this. I know people that shoot architecture light and airy. I know others that prefer dark and moody. Listen, if we were all the same, photography, and the wider art community for that matter, would be incredibly boring. Looking at your work and working in one niche for a period of time, it has allowed me personally to look at one image that I'm working on and know what it needs to bring it up to a certain level, a consistent style. Getting a consistent palette is all about trial and error, and I'm always applying basic adjustments to a raw file before pulling images into Photoshop to develop them further, and some are processed more or further than others. Architecture can also be edited much more aggressively than many other types of work. For example, portraits. Faces can't be destroyed in the way that I sometimes hammer my interiors. So I'd say my style is pretty much trying to get the best colours out of the architecture, and I do like to try and inject a little bit of colour into the shadows and bring out some details in those as well. I don't like it to be too dark, too moody, and I certainly don't like it to be overexposed too much, although I do mess this up, of course. We all do that occasionally. But it's been a style that's been developed probably over a period of, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years, and of course I make mistakes like every single one of us. Sometimes my style applied to an image works better on some locations than it does on others. I'm already thinking in here, for instance, it's going to be a bit of a challenge. It might work well on the top section, but down below might be quite a challenge. But it's important, very important, to have your own style and apply it. It is also worth noting that different equipment can also produce slightly different results. It's very important to remember this. I'm shooting on a Canon, but many of these thoughts apply to any brand, model, or camera and lens combination. Different kit, different results, and you're going to need to tweak your style to apply to that new combination or altered combination. And that style, combined with other stuff we've talked about before, compositional techniques, can really alleviate those print sales and give you much better results, and people will actually come to you looking at various options of your work to be able to hang on their wall or to when you print a book, so on and so forth. So yeah, style combined with composition and techniques pushes you up there. That's the idea. Okay, so what tools can you use to give yourself and help yourself edit and actually get a style to your work? Well, there's a few tips that I'm going to give you, and we can look at those now. Popular styles include the matte look, which involves faded blacks, the cinematic style, which involves cool shadows, often teal, and warm highlights, often orange, the dark and moody look or feel, which uses cool tones plus vignettes to create a somber feel to it, and the high contrast look, which involves really punching up that contrast for an in-your-face look, which I do a lot. So with that in mind, there are some questions then that you can ask yourself. What style of images are you most drawn to? In other words, when you seek inspiration, what sort of images do you gravitate towards? Photo editing styles use three broad adjustments: tonal or lighting adjustments, base adjustments to the image or raw file, colour adjustments using tools like the HSL slider that I've mentioned in a previous video in this series, the first video, I've linked it above, and finally special effects. That's things such as grain, blur, glows and more. Literally any photography style that you encounter can be broken down into these three constituents. In other words, by mixing creative tonal, colour and special effects adjustments in different ways, we can end up with images that look radically different to one another, different editing styles. Once you've identified the type of look you want to achieve, take the time and effort to set up the parameters needed to achieve it. For example, if I'm aiming for a dark and moody look to my image, I will look for lighting, textures and tones that support that type of imagery. I will not set up shoot in the brightest part of the house where the sunlight fills the room. And also, I don't select a dark and horrid corner if I want a light and airy image. If there is a shot and I want it and the timing is off, I will simply return. Combining in-camera and editing techniques together and slowing down is key to also finding a consistent style. Of course, style can go wrong. And what I mean by that is it doesn't necessarily work with every scene that you're photographing in architecture. Sometimes you've got to think a little bit more outside of the box and maybe be a little bit less subtle with your style or even more aggressive. It really depends on the scene that you're actually editing. But to have a fixed starting point and then work your style back, then that's actually something that I'm always looking to try to do. Try to keep the images consistent, especially if you're making things like books, prints, and people are buying multiple versions of your work. You need to try and keep it fairly consistent throughout. Here we are taking a look at my book, Abandoned Lebanon. It was a huge project that I undertook in 2021 and one that I found challenging as a fine art photographer rather than a documentary one. There are many unique and challenging lighting conditions in the scenes of these spaces. Each image had to be carefully moulded to make sure it looked similar to the last, and of course there were a few close but not spot on, especially if, because of the timing I was on site, the lighting was off. However, by making sure the same process was applied and followed to each of the images in post-processing, it meant that we got very close to consistency. Okay, that wraps us up for this week. I hope you enjoyed that video on style. Some interesting tips and some tricks you can do along the way. Of course, I'm not going to give you everything I do because that is not the point. The point is actually to find your own style. I'm done here in Romania. Not many locations, but as many videos as locations actually, and it's been a great pleasure to be here. I do need to go and crack on. I've got my flight in the morning, I'll get back to Istanbul. I've got my permit to apply for, my residency permit. I'm quite happy with everything I've done, but it's been freezing cold. It's at least 10 degrees warmer in Turkey, so off we go. And I've enjoyed it. I hope you have too. Okay, if you've got any suggestions or comments, please do leave them below. I'd love to hear from you. Please subscribe, hit the bell notification. You'll be alerted when I upload next week's video on Sunday, similar time, same time. Bye for now. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's been a cracker here in Romania.